Good morning, Novitas. Today I'm going to show you how to wrap your Winnegas, Wininjas, Wickle-Banders leg wraps. So stay tuned. This is a video on how to wrap Winnegas, aka leg wraps, Wickle-Banders, Puttees, Wininjas, or whiny guys, but mostly Winnegas. Okay, that's what it's called. But what is it? Winnegas are 100% wool leg wraps that start at your feet and work your way up to the calf. They're great for Viking or Dellen characters, some Roman or Civic characters, anyone with cold legs. These are really great because they kind of do several things at once. Since they're 100% wool, they're keeping your legs warm and tight. Snow is really going to stay on the outside of the wool and not get to your pant leg, so your pants are going to stay dry wherever the Winnegas are. It protects your legs against nettles, thorns, sticks, pokey things poking into your legs, especially if you have low boots. You see these rolled up. Basically, it's a piece of wool 3.5 inches to 4 inches wide, 12 feet long, preferably woven in a twill pattern. That kind of looks like this. If it's a different kind of weave, it won't flex, and you want it to kind of have a little bit of give as it stretches around your leg. This pair is from LARP Essentials. These are great and have kept my legs warm and dry in many winter events. Also, this is a great little piece of kit for NPCing. Keeps your pants dry, which keeps you dry, keeps you warm, and since it's wool, if you get too warm underneath, it will release the heat. You won't overheat with 100% wool, especially just on your legs. Great little addition to your NPC kit. One note, I'm about to just show you how I wrap my Winnegas. There are like about a dozen ways to do it, and if you ask anyone who's worn them, such as Hivemind or James Vertucci, what I'm about to show you is just my tried and true, but very basic, call it like basic Dellen way to wrap it. There's more fancy, I'll even call it more better ways to wrap it, but this is just the basics to get it on your legs and to get it to stay for an entire shift or two. You shouldn't be re-wrapping your Winnegas all the time. If you are, then you need to change how you're wrapping them. With that, here we go. Okay, here we have our Winnegas. I'm going to put one on without any narration, just to kind of show you the overview, and then I'm going to do one where I break it down step by step. Okay, so what was going through my head? Take your Wininja and you make sure you're not stepping at a right angle, you're not stepping out. This is like changing the shape of your leg, but just kind of somewhere in between. Take and step on it just a little bit, basically making a little stirrup. So basically you pull it out maybe like 6 inches, fold it over to where it's just grabbing itself, okay? And then you curl over and you go over and around your heel. If it feels a little odd once it's in the shoe, you can like adjust things and do it to where, you know, you're just kind of still making a stirrup, but you can like do this X kind of thing if you don't like that on your heel. But for a very secure fit, you just overlap it, tuck it in a tiny bit, and go under your heel just a little bit. You're pulling your trouser up. You're not catching it yet. And now we're going to curl around. And there's going to be like a big old gap at the back of your foot. That's okay, your shoe's going to hold that in. So we're overlapping it a tiny bit, and now we're starting to catch bottom of your trouser. If you don't have these stovepipe legs with the rust pants, if you have like big wide pants, just make sure you're pulling up and make sure your pants are like at least a little bit above that bony bone that pokes out, your ankle bone. Make sure it's like an inch above that, because if you pull it down, this is gonna be like pulling as you stand up. You want a nice flounce. You want this to be at the top, kind of showing off a lot of that fabric. So now we're gonna start wrapping, making sure we're overlapping like 1.5 inches each time. And we're overlapping, and the minute we notice a little bit of stepping is where, see how this is kind of like sticking out from the leg? This is happening because, you know, you're not a pure cylinder. Your leg is kind of flaring out, and this is a rectangle. The stretch of it is going to accommodate it somewhat, but if you want it to stay all day, you're going to, once you see that little bit of stepping, you're going to back up, you're going to twist it where you saw it stepping, okay? You do a twist. It's going to kind of reduce the fabric that's overlapping. That's okay. And then you just keep going, and you keep your eye out for more stepping. Stepping is bad because that's a place where the wool isn't contacting another layer of wool, so it can come undone. Also, it doesn't look super trim. So basically, continue on. It's a little bumpy, but it's better than that step. And especially, you're going to go over your muscle, over the calf muscle. If you end below the calf muscle, this is all just going to fall down. The top of your calf muscle is where this is secured. This is your anchor point, basically. So you have to end at above the calf, the top of your calf muscle. Now when I come over the top of my calf muscle, I'm overlapping, kind of changing the angle a little bit. I'm now going down just to kind of anchor that even more on the top of that calf muscle. I have another twist kind of going on, so, or a little bit of the step, so I'm going to twist to fix that. And now I've come to the end of my 12 feet, and I have this hook tag, okay? Hook tags are great. You're going to just hook it into the fabric. It doesn't hook into your leg, it doesn't hurt, it should stay there. And you don't want it too loose because, for obvious reasons, that's gonna come undone. The nice thing with this twill is that there's a bit of stretch. Just a little bit of stretch in it. So you just kind of find a open spot in the weave and then hook it on, okay? If you have a pair that doesn't have a hook tag, first, just get one with a pair of hook tags, but if you don't, there are ways to still secure it. The thing to remember is, pretending this one didn't have it, you're going to go under, always under, kind of fold it and secure it as best you can. Notice how it's bulgy, not super great. This could come undone. Probably won't, though. This should stay the day, you know, as long as I'm, you know, in this roll. Looks pretty nice. Look at them games. Now you know how to wrap your Winnegas. So just buy a quality pair, 100% wool. Prepare yourself to look great and have warm and dry legs all shift long. One note on storage: if you get your Winnegas wet, make sure to let them dry after a game before you roll them up. Always roll them up the same way with the hook on the inside kind of curling over itself. With that, game on, nerds!